Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, sorry it's been a minute since I've done a video. I caught the flu this week. It's been pretty bad. You can tell I still sound like crap. Um, but I wanted to get out here and get this video done because I'm super excited about these blades. Eric Hansen over at Fobos Knife sent me some blades to check out and test, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And thank you, Eric. I greatly appreciate it. This will be my 100% honest review, even though these were sent to me. I'm still going to give you guys, the straight truth, because if I don't, you ain't going to watch. And I appreciate all of you guys subscribing to my channel. But again, thank you, Eric, over at Phobos. Eric Hansen is a designer. If you haven't had a chance, I did a video with him at Blade Show West 2023, and we talk about a bunch of knives. This one in particular, we talk about this one, the Alaris, the Calcula. We also talk about a prototype, and we talk about the new Tier 1 minis that are going to be coming out. So go check out that video because Eric does a phenomenal job of explaining a lot of the design concepts that went into these blades. But let's get right into this, guys. I got some cool testing today. This is really cool for me because this is the Tier1-BC. So this is the box that it comes in. It's a Tier1-BC CPM Magna Cut. It's got a 62 HRC. It's cryo tempered. Says it right there on the box. I've never tested a Magna Cut blade. I'm curious to see how the edge holds up because supposedly, if it's done right, it's supposed to be great. And Eric, from what he's told me, they know how they've got it dialed in. So what's really cool is when you open up the box, these knives come very well packaged, right? So pick up this little piece of paper. The knife is sitting right in there like so. Very cool. Let's get this blade out and take a look at it. I'll show you guys a little up close view here in a second. This model they do make some really nice leather sheaths, but this one came with the Kydex sheath. So it's a Kydex sheath, and it comes with a belt dangler. Let's snap that over. So very nice Kydex sheath. Put this in here, show you guys the very positive click. No rattle, very, very, if I rattle it this way, you hear this dangling, but it's got a bit of a thumb ramp right here, so you can actually put your thumb on there, push off, and pull the knife out. The sheath is very lightweight, but I mean, it's very secure, very nice sheath. Also, what comes in the package is you'll get a little can of Wicked Wax, which this stuff is phenomenal for protecting your blade, cleaning your blade up, making your micarta handles and everything look really nice. I have a video on this. Also, go check that out. It's the Wicked Wax and the Wicked Clean. But you get a little travel size can for your blade. You'll also get some stickers, really cool Fobos knife stickers. You actually get like 3 of them here. You get this card here that talks about the general warranty, things like that for repairs and stuff. So that's cool. And then there's another little paper in here that basically general information goes over the warranty, care and maintenance, things like that. It talks about the edge angle, which is really cool because a lot of times you don't know what your edge angle is, and you got to figure it out when you're sharpening. But it tells you here pretty much that your BC comes with a 20-degree secondary edge angle, and it says recommended edge profiles: hard use 22, medium use 19.5, whatever. You can read that, but it's pretty cool because it gives you some information, like if you want to change your edge angle, what type of performance you might get out of it if you do so. So pretty cool. I'm glad they included that information. I hate when I have to try to figure out, when I go to sharpen a knife, I hate trying to figure out what the edge angle is. Sometimes it's not always the easiest information to find. Let's get back to this knife. So again, the sheath here is really cool, guys. It's black Kydex. They do make a really cool looking, beautiful leather sheath as well that you can order from the website. It's attached here on the back. So you have this belt loop dangler, if you will, which I actually like danglers. It makes it easier getting in and out of my truck. Sheath's very well made, nice. It's not overly thick, so it actually keeps the weight pretty light. The knife itself, for its size, is surprisingly light. It's just amazing at actually how light this knife feels for its size. So let's get into the specs real quick, guys, and give you another look at that. And I'll go over some of the design features, then we'll get into the testing. I know this might be a little bit of a long video, but I want to make sure you guys get all the information here. I wrote it all down in my little book here. Okay, the overall length is 11.18. The blade length is 5.8. The blade thickness is 0.20. It's Magna Cut, stonewash finish. says carbon fiber handle scales, which, yeah, that's carbon fiber. Weight is 9.4 ounces, black kydex sheath. Again, 9.4 ounces for this size of a knife is, I mean, I got knives that are smaller than this, I think way more than this. So, I mean, Eric did a really good job of creating a very light, larger size blade. It also has a fire steel choil, or right here on the back, not fire steel choil, but like a striker, if you will. This is actually designed, he designed this to accommodate not only your small fire rods, but also the big, larger fire steels. It has a really cool swedge here on the back, and then it kind of widens out and then swedges again up here on the top. That is actually specifically designed to give the tip extra strength and durability. Not only that, but it gives it, I think, a very, very cool look. But if you, on a lot of the blades, you're going to see these swedges, and Eric talks about that in that video, and I don't ever want to misquote Eric, so please go back and watch that video, and he'll talk a little bit more about these swedges and the importance of them. But man, this blade is just feels really good in the hand. Flip it around, I mean, feels good either way. It's got a real nice light balance. Feels very quick in the hand. I'm not a knife fighter or anything like that, but I mean, just kind of swinging it around, it just feels very well balanced to me. It's got a nice finger choil up here, so you can choke up and get up here, do up close work. In the reverse grip, I mean, it feels really good. One of the things that I noticed, so when you hold this knife, you naturally want to, it's just somehow naturally wants to fit right across the calluses of your hand right here, and it just feels like that's where it belongs. But I've noticed whenever you, like, if you punch out even this way, or you know, the way that, it's hard to describe. I don't know, I could be describing this wrong, but whenever I poke this thing out, that tip is going exactly where I'm pointing it at. You know what I mean? I don't have to point up or over accentuate down. It's just bam. It's the way it's designed. This tip to end is just naturally points. So if you had to stab something, you're gonna go straight there every time. And I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I could be talking out of my ass, and if I am, Eric, I apologize. But I feel like this thing has a natural point ability, if that makes any sense. But guys, we're here to see some testing. We're going to test out this Magna Cut blade. I have not cut anything with this yet. I've just been kind of handling it the last few days, getting a nice feel for it, and I really like it. It does have this really nice oversized lanyard hole, as well as a attitude adjuster, skull splitter, coconut popper, choil on the end, not choil, but end. But I got here my trusty old catalog, so I'm going to tear a page out of this. This does have some stabs through it from some other tests I've done, but one of the things I noticed with these Fobos blades when I got them, they were just stupid sharp out of the box. I mean, it's like, I mean, that's just super easy, like no effort at all. So we're going to come back and we're going to do that test again after we're done. But let's get into it. Let's get right into my stab test. You know, this is my catalog here. You know, it's a big, thick, you know, 2-inch, inch and a half thick catalog. We're going to come in here. We're going to give it a nice stab. Now, this doesn't have the most acute tip, but it does have a very sharp tip, and it is a reinforced tip because of the swedge. So look at that. Yep, it went through. The tip is right there, barely coming through, but it went through. Let's do it again. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Again, went just, the tip is coming out the back right here. Let's do the, let's check this tip here real quick. No damage, which there shouldn't be, but hey, let's do the, stab the old log here. Check this out. Yep, no tip damage. Still there. Looking good. Excuse me, guys, if I cough again. Like I said, I'm getting over being sick. But I don't expect this to chop the complete end off here just because of the size of the blade. When I did that with another blade, it was a big chopper. So, but I'm going to see what we can do here. Just give it a little whip chop, see how much of this we can cut off, see how much of a mess I can make. Woo! I stand corrected, guys. I stand corrected. I honestly did not think I was going to be able to cut the whole end of it off like that because of the size of the blade. And I was sadly mistaken, and I made a mess. And look at that. That's pretty damn impressive, guys. I didn't think, you think, well, a little chop of this blade. Cut that end right off. Pretty damn good, I think. We got a brick here, guys. Now, before you think I'm going to do anything crazy like cut the brick, I'm not. I am going to crack the brick with the end here. Look at that. That's a pretty damn good brick. Now, I didn't expect it to break the brick, but what I was actually testing was my hand does slip just a little bit. I'm not wearing any gloves, which I probably should be. Don't be like me. Don't do stupid stuff. But what I wanted to do was see if it was going to do any type of marks on the end of this. And there's not even a scratch on the end of this. Look at that. I'm going to do that again. Kind of taking chips out of the brick there. Yeah, that's a good solid brick. I like that. Let me check my hands here. I'm checking to see if there's hot spots too. So if you look, there's some nice jimping in there. So my finger's in there. I've got this. I'm cracking on it. But this jimping isn't tearing up my finger. It's actually giving it a nice grip. So that's really good. So no marks on the end of this. Again, that's pretty impressive. I thought for sure it would scratch the metal a little bit, and it didn't. Because with this magnet cut, it is coming in at 62 Rockwell hardness. So typically a lot of people say, oh, you get to that high, it's going to be brittle. I don't think we're going to have that problem here, guys. So let's get to the next thing. Well, we got the old G material here. I always like to cut this stuff up too. You're going to just so you guys see. Tip pierces through nicely. Cuts right through, no problem. So cutting up G material, you had to cut a pant leg off. Again, no problem. Got the old pull hose here. Had to come in here and cut this stuff off. You can cut this off, no problem. Cuts right through it. I didn't think that'd be a problem. This blade is sharp. Oh, got the old extension cord here. Let me get the other end here. We're going to cut a piece of this sucker off. Ah, there we go. Yeah, cut right through that cleanly. This is the piece my dog chewed up. That's why I use this. But let's do some little chops here and cut some of these little pieces off. Cutting through that wire, no problem. Cut a few pieces off. And really what I'm doing with this is because it's got the copper and stuff in there, I'm doing this to check the edge, guys, really. And I'm really, really curious. Man, this thing still feels stupid sharp. I think I almost cut myself right now. I really want to see how well this edge holds up because it's supposed to hold up phenomenal. So, check this out. We're going to go that one next. So, we got the old yellow poly rope here. We're going to cut a piece of this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit here and I'm going to cut quite a few pieces of this off. Because this stuff is pretty abrasive at the end of the day when you're cutting it. So I'm going to cut quite a few pieces here. I'm going to put my finger over the back here. We're just going to cut some pieces off here. Make a mess, as I like to call it. See, making a mess. I mean, it's cutting through this stuff, no problem. I'm able to come in here and do this. Make a mess. Check that edge, no problem. Come in here, slice this again, no problem. So that cuts that stuff up really easily. I need to find some place to put this pile of trash. Man, that's the one thing I hate about this yellow rope, man, is it makes a mess. But we also have this. I think this is 1 inch. I don't even know what they call this rope, but I forgot. I should have looked when I bought it. But this stuff is always a pain in the ass to cut too. So we're going to go a little chop cut and see how that does. No problem. swear it's like they infuse this with some sort of something. But we're also going to come in here and cut that like that. No problem. This stuff is really tough on a blade edge. A lot of times it will dull a blade edge fairly quickly because of the nature of the material. Look at that. Coming in there, cutting that stuff up, no problem. Set this to the side. Now, one of the things I'm going to do at the end of this video, guys, is I actually have a chunk of beef fat that's beef fat and skin that's frozen. Last thing I'm going to do is we're going to hang that up, and after doing this cutting and stuff, we're going to take this and we're going to just see how cleanly we can slice that, right? So that's one of the reasons why I was kind of wanting to do some of this rope like this, is it's going to put some wear and tear on the edge. We also have a leather belt here, so we had to come in here and cut belt off. I mean, you can come in here and cut this stuff easily, no problem. I mean, it's a leather belt, so yeah. Sorry guys for the sniffles and stuff. Tell you what, this flu that's going around is just nasty. So you had to come in here and split your belt right down the middle. You can do that, no problem. Check this out. Still nothing wrong with that edge. Speaking of edge, look at this. We're gonna do some chopping. This is about, I don't know, 2-inch around piece of wood that's pretty damn hard. It came off a citrus tree. It's pretty dried out. We're gonna do some chops on this and again, check this edge out. You know what I mean? What's nice about this knife is you can choke back on it. Get yourself some more of those little whip chops. It's like you can see I'm choked all the way back. I'm able to still keep at least 3-4 fingers on here, but still get a little bit of that extra. Unlike, you know, being choked up on it, you lose a little bit of that power, but you can still maintain it. But if you choke back, you can get a little bit more whip action to it. Stand it up, we'll come in there like this. Now, this blade isn't necessarily designed to be a chopper. Again, I really want to see how well this edge holds up. And, you know, we're going to put it through its paces here, doing some chopping. Some nice hardwood here. I mean, if you had to sit here and chop all the way through it, you can. But again, the goal of this was really to see if we get any type of rolling, glinting, chipping. Shit, guys. This thing still feels sharp as it did when I took it out of the box. Here's the paper. Look at that. Well, if I get the paper right. Still cutting that like nothing. That's pretty damn good. So, if you had to make some feather curls, right, or little fire stick curls, this is just a piece of, what is it, 3/4 inch, 1 foot square, some sort of hardwood. But you had to come in here and make you some nice little fire curls. You can. I always wind up flinging these things off farther than I want them to go, though. Like that. I swear I'm not very good at making feather sticks and shit like that, guys. But you can come in here. Easily come in here and make your feather sticks, fire sticks, whatever you want to call them. I mean, look at that. No problem at all. Look at that. Very nice. Those pieces went flying everywhere, though. But yeah, you could easily go in there and, you know, make your feather sticks, fire sticks, or come in here and have to, you know, shave them off like this. You can, no problem. You can see them all flying everywhere. come in here on the flat spots on the sides, get your little shavings off, make a mess, if you will, like I am. No problem at all. And what else we got here? Oh, so here's a hardwood wood dowel, if you will. If you had to come in here and choke up and make that real nice little feather stick, if you will. Had to make a little notch in here to, you know, for a trap or something like that. But you're really wanting to get some nice little feathers, get that fire going good, because you know you're going to skin your rabbit here in a little bit and cook it, because you're out camping and hunting and fishing and farting, telling lies and stories around the fire, right? Check that out. No problem. You had to come in here and, I don't know, cut that off for some reason. Again, you can do some light chops. Look at that. That one went just about halfway through there. Getting stuck in there. Damn, no problem. Cut that off. Throw that to the side. Ooh, what else do we have here? Always, guys, fire hose. Okay, this is legit fire hose. It's double layered canvas with rubber inside, if you can see that. This stuff is pretty tough to cut, and we're gonna cut some up. So let's see, I'm gonna cut me a big piece off here. Let's see how well this does this. There we go. Man, I can't seem to get there. It is. There it goes. No problem. So this is old fire hose, guys. This stuff has been, it's been dragged through the water, the mud, the sand. It's been wet. It's fought fires. So, you know, in this canvas material, even though it's clean looking, this stuff's dirty. It's full of dirt, grit, and grime. Check this edge. No problem. This stuff, it's just such a pain to cut. That's why I like cutting it with stuff. Oops. Stab through there. Come through. Just about went all the way through there. Let's try that again. Yeah, man, that stuff is tough. That's why I like cutting it though, man, because it's gonna put the edge to the test. Look at that. Let's come around here. So again, this is double layered. I'm gonna come in through the top here. We're just gonna cut down the middle of it. There we go. There you go, starting to cut it. Trying to find a way to hold this and not cut my own damn hand. There we go. Look at that. Guys, this stuff, they don't mess around when they make these fire hoses, guys. Look at that. Excuse me. If you had to come in here and chop this, you could. Do a little chop. Like that. Chop it off if you needed to. If I can get that. There we go. Bam. Chop that stuff off. Again, we're going to check this edge. Still sharp. Yep, still taking hair off my arm, if you can see that. Again, this stuff is so hard on a blade edge. It just, man, that blade still feels sharp though. So let's take another piece out of this book here real quick. One of the things, guys, I can tell you, man, the fit and finish on these Fobos knives right out of the box is just fantastic, man. They're just so well, nicely made. Everything is so clean and right looking on the blade. They're just awesome. Let's see here. I'm tearing it before I'm cutting it. Now, is this me, or is... I think that's more me messing this up than it. So it's not cutting quite as clean as it did at the very start, but it's still cutting. It's weird, is I could shave the hair off my arm with it. Oh, see, it cuts right through there. It's just getting it started on the end here that seems to be... Oh, there we go. Maybe it was just me. Well, yeah, it's cutting. It's just having a little bit of a hard time starting. Once I get started, it seems to cut it nicely. But then again, guys, I mean, this thing is still sharp. It really is. I mean, like I said, I took the hair off my arm right there. But is it shave the hair off? I mean, shave that paper? Maybe not quite as much because, again, I did put it through some very rough materials. But it's still a sharp knife. But we are going to do one more chopping test. And then we're going to switch it over. And we're going to cut that meat. And we'll wrap this up. Oh, one thing I did want to talk about real quick, though, is the fire bow drill divots here in the side, both sides of the knife. These divots actually go all the way into the metal, which, from what Eric was telling me, when you got your spindle stick or whatever it is in here, it's rubbing against the metal. It's like 50% less friction than if it was on the micarta or wood or whatever the handle material was. So you're actually able to get more power, more friction going to the bottom of your spindle than losing a lot of that energy up here with friction. So I thought that was a really cool design feature, and I had never heard anybody describe it that way. So that's actually a pretty cool thing I wanted to talk about before I forget. But this is a 4x4, guys, a chunk of 4x4. You can tell I've been cutting on this with a bunch of different stuff. We're going to just come in here and we're going to just do like 20, 30 hits real quick. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so that's 30 hits right there, guys. Now, was I doing the cut through log? No. I wanted to see if there's any rolling, chipping, or glinting on this edge. And there is not. None at all. This thing's still sharp, guys. I even though it's not cutting the paper quite as cleanly as I would like it, I still would not want to be cut with this. This has still got a wicked edge, a usable edge. You'd still be able to skin out an animal with this if you needed to. There's no glinting, rolling, chipping. It's still in fantastic shape. I think if we took this to a leather strop too, I don't think we'd have any problems with it getting hair popping sharp. So I'm going to pause the video real quick, guys, so I can set up the meat cut, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned, because we're going to cut some beef fat with this. Stand by. Woo! All right, guys. Sorry, it took me a second. This is my big bag of frozen beef skin and fat. I get this from a local butcher. This is stuff that gets thrown away. They don't obviously use this stuff or anything, but you can see that's just all skin and fat shit. You can even see some of the beef hair still left on this. But we're gonna take this and it's frozen, guys. I just took it out of the freezer. So we're gonna cut a chunk of this off. What is that? That looks like a tail or something. Let's see. I don't know what the heck that is. I almost feel like it looks like a tail. Like a piece of cartilage or something. But let's see here. Look at that, cut right through that. Right through that, no problem. Oh, so that little first piece I cut off, if you actually look at it, there's bone in there. Let me hold this up here for you guys. That first little tiny piece, there's a little piece of cartilage or bone right there. Huh, I wonder what that was. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is frozen. It's cutting right through it, no problem. Cutting chunks off. Slicing it right off. Not a problem. Well, guys, set that down. Now I got beef fat all over my hands, but that's all right. Whew. Guys, the Fobos Tier 1-BC. This is going to be a great all-around, just a great all-around knife for the size that it is. It's going to do just about everything you're going to need it to do in camp. If you're out hiking, backpacking, long-term, I think this is a great size blade to carry. The weight of it makes it feel really, really good. It's not overly heavy, so if you're doing those long hikes, you don't have to worry about lugging around a really heavy knife. You're probably going to be carrying a hatchet or an axe with you as well, so shaving that weight will help. Whew, I'm out of breath, guys. Not from that, but just I'm still really congested. Sorry. But I mean, this knife just has a lot of features that are built into it that make it just phenomenal. I really like this bow drill gibbets. That's one thing I definitely want to try. I've never tried to do a bow fire, and something I am going to try with this knife one of these days here. I got to do some research on what type of woods to get in my area. But man, this is just a great all-around camp knife with that Kydex sheath. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong being able to carry this thing around, no problem. Definitely would highly suggest picking one of these up. Again, this edge, I mean, I'm looking at it, guys, and there's just nothing wrong with the edge. Let me get the camera and flip around, give you guys a nicer up-close view of the blade. I don't even want to see my ugly mug, so let's flip that around. You guys can see my backyard there for a second. There we go. I know this video ran a little long, guys, but I really wanted to show you guys this blade in use. Now, of course, it still has the beef fat and stuff on it. See the bow drill divot, the hole there for the lanyard, nice oversized holes, so you could put a thicker lanyard on there if you wanted to. Got the bow drill on both sides. Again, come in here and try to get a up close look at that edge. That's just wood. Again, it didn't do any damage to the edge. And again, I want to show you guys the bottom of the pommel here. If I can put the focus. Hitting that brick didn't do any damage to the pommel. There you go. There you go, guys. The Tier 1-BC by Fobos Knives, man. Definitely a blade worth looking into and getting. I really like the way it feels. Thank you again, Eric, for sending it. I greatly appreciate it. I think you have yourself a winner here. I think anybody who picks one of these up will not be disappointed. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to have a couple more Fobos videos coming out showing off some more of these badass blades. And I'm going to be doing some shorts and reels with this too. I think I might take this bad boy to a whole chicken and see what happens. So stay tuned for that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I will have links to Fobos Knives in the description. Also a link to YV Gear. You can order these blades through YV Gear. Also, the Tier 1 minis are up for pre-order on that website as well. So if you guys are interested in picking one of these up, utilize that link below. Pick you one up. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Stay sharp.